He's gonna be
He
like,
gonna
where do I?
be
He ain't gonna come to
he
you.
gonna
He
be on
gonna
the
be like,
100.
where do I need to
He
meet
gonna
you?
be he coming on the 100.
Yeah.
You remember how Bruce Banner, he was like, I ain't got to get angry because I'm always angry.
Yeah.
He's gonna come that way.
Yeah.
Like,
You gotta
I
talk
need
him
you.
down.
He exactly like I was like, nah, it ain't even that serious.
I want to read Proverbs 17:17. A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity.
Yeah.
Mean, in other words, he's born to help in a time of need.
Mm.
So that's one thing that I'm kind of wrestling with, like having that someone to be there in a time of need, as far as like it's more than just a brother. It's like someone that like personally, like deep personal relationship with this one individual that you can call on, like you mentioned, call on them, and they will be there in a time of need. We can all pick up the phone and call each other, right?
Yeah.
And that's not an issue. But the thing is, when you know this person, like on a personal level, it gets personal, gets down personal.
Mm-hmm.
You know that person gonna be there. He's gonna have whatever you need, an answer for your situation.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing that I go back and forth with. Not saying that I don't have that. I can't call nobody, but someone that you know personally. It's a personal thing for me, like because I like inviting folks over to my house. Come over, man. Come over. Just come over and talk. Let's have a talk. Get down on a real personal level.
Mhm.
Sit aside from all this other nonsense. You know what I'm saying?
Get in your face.
Yeah. Talk about, we ain't gotta just be real. You know what I'm saying? Be real with you. You ain't gotta be all holy and die when you come over. Just be a man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Be a man. Just talk manly. And that's the thing I'm, looking forward to someday that's gonna happen for me, because like I say, it's almost like going through the motion sometimes.
Mhm.
You get up every day, you do this, you go Sunday, you go church, and you Tuesday, you come back around, you give the guys, love on the guys, enjoy the conversations. It's almost like a going through a motion thing if you don't be careful. And that's why when you get to know each other on a deeper level, and then that helps your situation.
Mm.
One thing I definitely, just adding to that, I think is Aaron and Brendan kind of mentioned is that first of all, it takes time, right? It takes time to get to the area because, for example, a lot of my Barnabas just outside of the family are also close friends. But the reason why we're close friends because we've known each other since literally freshman year of high school. I don't even know how that was a long time ago, right? But when you think about it, just being in putting that time together, working together in school. For example, we're part of the robotics team back in high school. So shout out to South Gwinnett. So so when we were doing that, you kind of bond over time. I think Brendan mentioned like in here, for example, the bonding.
School, ain't it?
Oh, yeah, it's a bad school now. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, so yeah, we were bonding over that and various different things and sports like that. So of course, and over time, what happens? Just life happens, right? Eventually, somebody has an issue or something like that. And I think it's kind of what Aaron was talking about. He mentioned the Bible verse is that if you want to, just to paraphrase, like you want a friend, you be a friend, something like that, right? So one way to have people, have that connection, is that if the opportunity shows up on their side of things, you show up there, you be that friend to be, you be that person who's there. And if God willingly, they do that to you. And then one thing as I look back is like, it was,
lead to another.
Yeah, lead to another. Yep. And before you know, you're still you close friends, all, your 30s and stuff like that. And you started when you were like, what, 15, 14. So.
And God will bring some people who are new too.
Yep.
And they can become, better or more of a friend than somebody who you had 10, 15 years. So I'm always open to that too. Because I got some of my partners now, like, that I just met them in the last, few years. And I'm just like, yeah, this is my partner for real. Like I've been knowing them all my life. So
to piggyback off that, one thing that I would suggest kind of looking into that I actually did last year and graduated from is radical mentoring.
Yeah.
Is something that Victory offers. And basically, so it's a whole year, and it's you and six. Yeah, we had six. So 6 men and 2 mentors. So I had Bobby Bolton was one of my mentors, and shout out to Bobby Bolton, Pastor Bobby.
Did you say Bobby Boucher?
and Jonas Aminas. Many of you know who Jonas is as well. But so we started out, we were complete strangers in a room where we had to tell our testimony in chronological order. So from birth to where you are now, the good, the bad, and how God helped you through it. And then you have one book a month that you read. You come back and you talk about that book. But you have individual assignments for yourself. You have assignments with your prayer partner, and then you have assignments with your wife as well. So she's involved through the whole thing too. And then the key is obviously to make that brotherhood, but then their wives become friends with your wives. So now you do life together as a whole. Like,
that's hard.
I go on trips with these guys now. Like, their wives have, book clubs that they do with my wife. And I mean, it's just, it's like I don't want to say like a pyramid effect, but it is kind of like a pyramid effect.
Hey, a pyramid effect is fine. Pyramid scheme is different.
Right.
That's gonna be hard. My
but
wife.
yeah, I would definitely.
You know what she did to New Orleans, man?
Say what?
You know what she did to New Orleans? Katrina.
I was gonna say everybody doesn't know your wife's name.
I was gonna say his wife name is Katrina.
Oh,
hey man.
But yeah,
but no, I mean
awesome.
that's definitely something to look into.
Yeah, basically you get 2 Pauls right off the bat, and then you get 5 other Barnabases.
Exactly.
I don't know how to do the plural.
Barnabases.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And like I say, you start out as strangers, and now I have those guys that I can call at 2:00 in the morning.
Nice.
I have those guys that we can go on a double date, and they can come at me and hey, I didn't like how you talked to your wife just now, man. You need to fix that.
Yeah.
Like that type of brotherhood.
And you said how long was it?
It was a year.
Ooh.
So yeah. So you start out, you have a retreat where you sit in a room, like I say, and everybody shares their testimony. So I would share my testimony. We take like a 10-minute break or whatever, go back in the room, the next person, and the next person, and it's like you literally bare your soul in front of 6 complete strangers who you've never met before.
Right.
And then from there, you grow that relationship, and like I say, we go on trips together. There's not, if we go more than 5 days without talking, something's wrong. Like that type of brotherhood where they're hitting me, hey man, I ain't heard from you in like 3-4 days. Like that ain't you. Like what's going on? And it took a lot for me because I'm just like you. I don't step out like that. Like I don't put myself out there like that or whatever. But not only did it form a brotherhood, it strengthened my marriage because of the things that I learned throughout that year. To say, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to look this way. I'm not going to talk that way. Like everything was strengthened from that. So when you find that brotherhood, it's not just about that man next to you. It's about everything. The relationships that you have within your life get strengthened because of the brotherhood from just that one person. Like that relationship that I have with you where I can chop it up and, hey man, you need to set your boundaries or whatever. Like I can internalize that, but I can go and take that to 4 or 5 other brothers and spit that same, advice to them. You know what I mean? That's what brotherhood looks like. It's like it doesn't end or it doesn't stop with me. I take it and I plant it and plant those seeds elsewhere and watch it grow with them, and then they take it to that next person, and like it's discipleship.
Hold up, I just want to ask this though: what about that friend that's an unbeliever that you could turn to like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What about them? No, I got a partner like that. He an unbeliever. Like he know Jesus and everything. I mean, he believe in Jesus, but he don't go to church though. He don't do none of that. Read the Bible, none of that. But 2:00 in the morning, sun going down. Bro, I got you, bro. He do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, bro. Damn, bro. One locked at the house, bro. I got keys at the house. You'll go by the house and get that. I can trust him to go in the house. Well, I'm not there. You know what I'm saying? So what about that friend though? Cause you're an unbeliever though, but you want to get him to come to Christ and.
I'd say just like I told Justin. I think it was Justin. He was talking about his mom, where she is a believer, but she will critique and nitpick everything. Of, oh, you should have said this, or I don't agree with that, or whatever. And so to that, I'd say just continue to be the example. Okay. Let them learn from you. You walk by faith, not by sight, right? Yeah. Just continue to be that example. When I go back to Michigan and I walk through the hood and everything, and they looking at me different and whatnot, let them look. Because now I'm that example. I used to be on the corner, just like them. But God changed me. My ways are not your ways. My thoughts are not your thoughts. So now when they see me, they see a king. Yeah. Now when they see me, they see what God did for me and to me and through me. You see what I'm saying? So it's one of those things. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it. Yeah. It's just like it's the same thing. You can lead them as far as you're gonna lead them, but there's gonna be a certain point where you gotta make a decision to either continue to lead down that road with them or leave them where you left them. No. I have dudes just recently. I've known them 22 years. I've known them since 2nd grade, and we grew up together and so on and so forth. And now it's like, no, I can't do life with you no more. I can't do life with you no more. My ways are not your ways. My thoughts are not your thoughts. Yeah. You have a child, but your child doesn't know God. Yeah. Your child knows the alcoholic you. Your child knows the drug addict you. You know what I mean? Like I can't get down like that no more. Yeah. So it's either you're gonna come into my life and see the good that God's done for me, or we gotta part ways. And this is the fork in the road now. Yeah. And eventually you're gonna have to either meet in the middle and form that compromise. But when you form that compromise, it's one of those things where you're either for me or against me. That's what Jesus said. Yeah. You're for me or against me. There's no in between. Yeah. So you either pick that line and stand on it, or you're gonna be conformed to the world again.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't say you don't got too many, bro. You can just, bro, I'm over here messed up, bro. I need you to come through for me. Or if you're in a marriage situation, you're like, hey, bro, I need you to go by the house. My wife don't give you this right here. And they put up to your wife house. They put up to your house and be respectful with your wife. Hey, so cuz told me to come here and do this right here. She, okay, go ahead. Right. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't got too many like that. Yeah. Even with many people at church, bro, because, we all in the walk with Christ, bro, but how far along is he in his walk? You feel me?
You never know.
Yep. You feel you? Hey, bro, go by the house, get from my wife. She don't do this for you. You step in, say something real slick to your wife. Your wife, hold on, he said so. Feel me? Now you like, hey, hold on, bro, you disrespected, bro. I gotta check you on that. Like, I ain't going down. Yeah. But you don't supposed to be like that, though. He said be slow to ankle.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
That's what I said about earlier about getting down deep personal with that individual. You got to have that personal relationship with them in order to allow certain things to go on in your life with that individual. So, well, I got 2 people like that. 2 of my best friends I went to school with, graduated with, we did life together with. They live in two totally different states, but they're the only 2 guys that I trust around my wife. Yeah. And I'm the only person that they trust around their wives. So it is what it is. You just can't let anybody in line like that. To me personally.
Yeah.
I don't think you could gauge that by individual being a believer. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't agree with that at all. I don't think it matters how far an individual is within their walk. If they got a weakness and they got a weakness, I don't care how far you are in your walk. I would trust certain sinners around. If I was married, I'd trust certain sinners around my wife before I would certain people that I know that's in the church, because I know their struggle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't gauge that like, okay, well, I don't know how far you are in your walk. I don't know if I could trust you with this. I don't think that's a good way to look at it, because you got people right there in the church knocking everything down.
Yeah, that's very true.
I mean, just
Very
being
true.
real, being real. So you definitely can't look at it like that. That's a humbug.
You
That's a
gotta.
humbug for real.
No, that's real.
Yeah.
No, I feel you.
Yeah.
Like you got to look at the fruits.
Yeah.
You got to look at the fruits of their walk, and then judge by letting them in or not.
It's just like the old man said, everybody in church ain't saved, man.
That's
Yeah.
true,
True.
though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, man, and that's what really get me, man. Like, especially this day and time. I think people praise certain individuals in church, like due to their position or whatever. And I've never been the type. Even at a job, I respect you because of what you do in your position. I don't care who you are, what your title is. Your respect comes from me because of what you do while you're in that position. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't. I'm not gonna just respect you because you the manager, you the owner, you the director. No, I respect you for what you do while you in that position, because that
There you
position
go.
come with a title.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? So, nah.
That's good.
I think it comes down to, ulterior motives. Do you have that ulterior motive? Like he was talking about, if you say, hey, come by my house, pick up blah, blah, blah. Like, do I have that ulterior motive to go, hey, let me go check up on his wife right quick. Like, let me slide in and say something slick and see if she don't, come on to me kind of thing. It's that ulterior motive. And that can happen, like you're saying. That's saved or unsaved. Like, you can't tell me you don't have, certain thoughts throughout the day or whatever. Like, it's not what you're...
That's the facts.
Yeah, it's not what you're... It's not that she's attractive.
Yeah.
It's I'm attracted
There you go.
to her. You see what I'm saying? There's a difference between the two words. Like, if it... Halle Berry walked down the street, we're all
Gonna look. Yeah.
We all gonna.
And you lie if you don't.
Maybe Boomerang Halle Berry.
I was gonna date it. I was actually gonna date it. Really, I was.
Maybe I'll
Look. Okay.
squint my eyes a
90s
little.
Halle Berry walks down the road.
Yeah,
You gonna look.
You gonna look.
Halle Berry now, you may not look. Okay.
be looking like.
But my point.
This crazy lady doing that.
My point is, how far are you gonna take it? That ulterior motive to say, hey, yeah, she looks nice, but
Keep moving.
I'm gonna keep it moving. I got this over here.
I don't know this lady, so I apologize for saying it.
Right. There's a difference between what I could do and what I would do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it comes down to. And just like you said, yeah, it's not a saved or unsaved thing. I have a bunch of homeboys that are they're not gonna touch a Bible. They're not gonna step foot in a church, but I trust them with my life. To where if I call you up at 2:00 in the morning and something's going down, they're strapping up and they on their way. No questions asked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that may not be biblical, but it's one of those things where that's my brother for life.
Facts.
They got my back and I got theirs. No questions asked.
Facts.
A Bible's not going to preach that to him. She's not going to understand it that way. So going back to like what you were saying, non-believers, like.
Are you the same way as a Christian? Would you do the same thing?
Of what?
If they called you?
And no questions asked?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I respect that 100%.
Absolutely.
Completely.
Yeah.
Completely.
Those that ride for me and ride with me, they know I'm a no questions asked guy.
Because you got to keep in mind, that question you asked was kind of vague, by the way. That was a humbug as well. I'm glad you handled the way you did. That was a humbug question. He wasn't specific. He asked you if they call when you pull up. I would hope that if I would have called you, you didn't say what the situation was. You just said if I call you at 2:00 in the morning, or you're gonna pull up.
Right.
But,
He said strap. We know where it's happening.
what if they licensed to carry?
I ride with it on my waist.
I'm
Like-
not saying that, but I'm saying to you,
Be
if
specific.
he said grab it, they gonna grab the straps and be on their way.
Mhm.
I'm from the hood. I know what that means.
I think
know,
everybody knows
I
what
done
that
made the
means.
call before, so I know what's gonna happen. People ain't coming just to be like, "Hey,
How you doing?
Is this a cookout? Am I having fun?" So I'm asking you, as a Christian man, you doing the same?
Yeah. Absolutely.
You doing the same? Too?
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
if you
hold on, let me say something.
So
Let me
if
say-
you
go
don't,
ahead.
so if you don't, so he contradicting himself.
Nah. You said the verse, be slow to anger. So quick to hear and slow to speak and slow to wrath is what it's saying, KJV.
My
So-
Bible says that a brother is born for adversity,
Yeah,
right?
through adversity.
So adversity can mean a plethora of things, right?
But if you know you're going to, that you may potentially go and take somebody's life, then where are you at with that too?
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Yeah,
because
I'm glad you
how can you sit here and say that, yeah, I'm a Christian and I'm changed when
Hold on.
if I'm
So I'm gonna jump in.
Come on.
There's a lot to unpack here with everything that we've talked about, and y'all have been very transparent and wise and beautifully spoken, right, with everything that everybody said.
However,
To add to that, I think with your friendship issue, when you said you want someone that you can call to come over and be real deep with, I would say just ask for that, and it'll be given to you. You know, it
Matthew
said-
7.
Matthew 7 is one of them, and I like that bracelet. And you who are evil, who know how to give good gifts to your children, your Father knows how to give 1,000,000 times better ones. You know what I mean? Your Father in heaven. So just ask him for a friend that you can talk deeply with, and if it's according to his will, then it'll be given to you. I think that a lot of the issue with men, women, children having deep friendships, being vulnerable with each other, goes back to the garden. Like if we look at Adam and Eve, they were naked, they were unashamed, they were probably talking about whatever. After they ate that fruit, they put on clothes and hid. That's what we do in our friendships, in our conversations. We small talk. We're not real, and that's part of the fall. That's part of walking in darkness. You know what I mean? Part of the old man. You got things to hide. You want to appear cool. You want to seem. You don't want to get too deep. You want to put them on an altar by not hurting their feelings by saying certain things or sharing this and that. And I think that goes back to the garden. And to that note, I think that some of the things we said tonight, like you don't need deep friends to last 30 years or 15 years or et cetera. You can have a deep friend for 2 months or for
a season.
or a season, exactly. And that's just as beautiful as a deep friend that you have for 30 years, because that was their purpose in the Father's will and his plan. And they can take what they learned from you, and you take what you learn from them. And like bro said, you cross-pollinate. Yeah, and you share what you learn from them with the people that you end up being deep friends with in that next season, and they do the same. And I want to also shout out Aaron for bringing me up earlier in the conversation. You know what I mean? Like, who was the wife that we met Sunday, or that I met Sunday afterwards? When she came up and she was like, you know, Aaron.
Brain freeze.
We met a couple.
Right, that's what I was about to
couple.
say. We done.
So there was a couple that came up, and the wife was like, you know, Aaron, we like we're in the same small group, and she's like, oh, so you know all the ushers, and she's like, y'all must have a
Oh, Gabby.
Shout out Gabby. Y'all must have a great time on Sundays. You know, y'all the church must feel small to y'all. And and it's crazy she said that because right before she came up, I was talking to Aaron and I was like, bro, when he was talking, I was just thinking about the small group the whole time. Like, it's a bunch of Barnabases and Pauls and Timothys in the small group, all 3 relationships in that. And I was like, it's a blessing, bro, to be a part of that. I was invited by Elliot, you know what I mean? And that was just off a quick conversation, you know what I mean? After, what was that after? After a men's breakfast, at Victory, right? And so everything serves its purpose. Like, I'm here tonight for a reason, talking to you guys, and et cetera. And I was thinking the whole time while he was talking, like, and through y'all's talks this whole night, like, I was just a gangbanger a year ago, you feel me? And we was real slimy. Like, people don't know what the word slime means. Like, I mean, you really stab somebody in the back, like that's been your friend for 30 years. You know what I mean? That will pull up if you call them at 2 a.m. Violence when you need help doesn't make somebody a friend. You know what I mean? Christ is the only thing that can make you a friend, to be real, because sin leads to death.
Yeah.
And so if you got a friend that's not in Christ, they're just an acquaintance, because other than that, they're leading you to death. If you hung out with them for a whole week straight, just with them living in their house, they're going to end up hating you or loving you, because they're going to see the light in you and they're going to run from that light or run to it. And a lot of that has to do with us not understanding how much God hates sin. And so we call people friends, but if we really call them out on their sin, they wouldn't want to be your friend no more, for real.
Right. Yeah.
And
it's true.
And so that's just what I had to say about it. Like, I think self-protection is fine. I think that's biblical. I think you can have a gun, but I think premeditated violence or thinking like it's manly or a friend thing to do to pull up because somebody calls to be violent, I don't think that's really friendly. Like I said, I got partners that's in the streets right now that I could call to pull up whatever, right
now.
But at the same time, there were plenty times when I was riding in the car with them and I didn't know if we was going somewhere for them to kill me or rob me of the sack in my bag or whatever. Like, but I still trust them to this day to pull up and help me out. You know what I mean? Or give me 20 bands if I need it. Like, but that don't make them a true friend. A true friend is in Christ, because there's no. If you're in sin, you have the ability to do any sin. You feel me? That's facts. If you're I wouldn't let him around my wife, no matter what. Like, alone, because they have the ability to sin. Like, no matter what. Even I can say I trust him, but Satan's slick. He's the great deceiver. You don't know how that happens. That's happened plenty of times in life, but
it happened in the Bible.
But if I know that he's dead to sin, that brother's dead to sin. We've had real talks, and I know he's dead to sin. His fruit shows he's dead to sin. And we talk about that, and he's a real believer. Then I still wouldn't let him alone with my wife.
There you go.
Because we got Proverbs to give us wisdom.
Exactly.
And we got the Holy Spirit to give us wisdom. But I can trust him with other things. You feel me? I can trust him with telling him deep things about my life, or with like helping me with a spiritual issue. Because somebody that's spiritual, that's spiritually in light, not spiritually in darkness, can help me with something to lift me out of spiritual darkness, etc. So that's just my 2 cents on on everything that I've heard.
Appreciate that.
I got a question.
The
man.
doors of the church is open.
You said you were gangbanging a year ago?
Yeah.
Were you in church the whole time?
No.
That's a miracle, like, for real. That's not normal. That's really like not normal. I swear.
You should have seen him when he first came in. He looked totally different.
Like, the mindset,
he
and
looked
just
different
the wisdom that converted from the street to the church. Not normal at all. Not normal. Like,
that's
God
Jesus.
definitely got a calling on your life, yo.
That's
like,
Jesus.
sure.
That's Jesus.
Definitely.
Period.
Definitely.
You and I need to chop it up, for real. Because Yeah.
That ain't normal, man. I promise you that ain't normal, yo. That's not normal at all. That's not normal.
No. Those type of friends that you're talking about are the reason why you have that gun. You feel me? That gun is I'd rather have it and not need it.
And need it and not have it.
And need it and not have it. That's that same type of friend. I'd rather have them and not need them than the other way around. You know? So that's the way I look at it. Of like, yeah, we may not ever be able to do life together biblically, but I got them in my back pocket. You know, growing up in elementary school, I had this dude named Kareem. Kareem was my one-hitter quitter. Big, fat dude. And anytime I got in trouble and I didn't feel like I needed to fight him or I couldn't take him, Kareem was right there. Pow! You know what I mean? You're going to have people in your life that you're going to do life with that it's not going to be biblical. And it's not going to be on a brotherhood level that you need it to be at necessarily. But it's just, to me, like you were saying, they're either going to conform to your world and you're going to be that light for them or not. You know, there's a reason Jesus hung out with drunkards and prostitutes and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It wasn't because he was right. It wasn't because he was conforming to their world. He was conforming them to his world.
Yeah, exactly. So let me ask you this question. So if they called you to show up strapped and everything like that, would it be biblical or a better example for you to show up strapped and be like, all right, who we going after? Or show up, you can take your strap or whatever. That's fine. You can show up loaded and everything. I'm ready. But first, try to talk them down.
Yeah.
Right.
Show them wisdom and everything like that. Not being like, I got you back. Let's go. And just go down the same road they're going. Because that's not showing an example.
I definitely didn't mean like, where they at. Nah, but I'm coming though. I'm coming.
Right.
I'm definitely coming.
That's what I'm saying. Is I'm coming.
You
Once we get there and I figure out what's going down, then we'll go from there.
Okay.
So no questions asked. It's just that. Like the movie The Town with Ben Affleck. It's that. Yeah. For me personally, it's that. If you hit me up at 2 a.m, whatever time it is, I don't need details at that point. I'm coming.
Right.
Once I get there,
then you'll get the details.
Then we figure out where we go from there.
Okay.
That's a no questions asked friend.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Of just, hey, get here now.
Right.
Okay, I'm on my way.
Right.
I'm not a female. I don't need the details. Like, I'm just being real. I don't need the details. Oh, well, where are we going to be? Okay, well, how long is it going to take to... No, I don't need all that.
Right.
Once I get there, then we figure it out from there. You know, but to answer your question, no, I would be that guy to talk them down. I would be that guy. Okay, no, we don't need to go through with this. Like, no, it doesn't have to come to that type of thing. I'm that guy.
Okay.
Good stuff, fellas. Good stuff tonight.
That's definitely Josh.
Right.
That's definitely Josh. I ain't gonna call him. Like that's gonna be the last person I call, man. Because I already know he's
gonna be like, where do I? He ain't gonna come to you. He's gonna be like, where do I need to meet you?
He coming on the 100.
Yeah.
You remember how Bruce Banner? He was like, I ain't got to get angry because I'm always angry. Yeah. He's gonna come that way.
Yeah.
Like,
you gotta talk him down.
Exactly. Like, I was like, nah, it ain't even that serious. So that's why, I don't even,
It's the same with, one of you get up right now and start running. We all run. Once we stop running, I'm gonna find out what it is we were not.
I don't know. Brandon might be like, hello? Is anybody there?
Really?
Right? You didn't hit him with that.
Be here running.
Wow.
Why you let him talk to you like that?
Hello?
Let me get this potato salad.
That's
first.
a wrap, man.
Now get this potato salad.
That's a wrap, man.
Oh my God.
All right. You want to have our...
Oh, yeah. So in Proverbs, it says, wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom. and all that get understanding. So that's what we pretty much end on the night. So if anything stood out to you tonight that you want to share, this is like our little wrap up session that you would want to share to the people who are watching that they can take home.
I think for me, it's that brotherhood can be lifelong or it could be a season.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that hits deep for me because when I try to form that brotherhood, I want it to be lifelong. I don't want to just do a season with you. I don't want to just, a month from now and we not even on speaking terms anymore.
Right.
And it hits different for me in a lot of different ways because of so many deaths that I've had to experience and still continue to go through, that those were lifelong relationships that I built with that person, whether it's a friend, a brother, my father, like those bonds were there and now they're gone type of thing. And when you have those bonds and then they're gone, it makes it harder to start over and build that brotherhood back up because you know what you've already had to, overcome and go through.
That's good.
Yeah.
What stood out to me was just relationships. Just looking at it on a physical level. As Pastor Johnson brought up on Sunday, when Barnabas went after John Mark, we would have never got the book of Mark if he didn't, take that time and go and search for him and help instill something into him to make him, write the book that was later Mark.
Right.
So just relationships stood out to me, like just always making sure that building and maintaining, because not only, having the thing, because like Brandon was saying earlier, like sometimes we get friends and we do that and then we just, let it flutter away. But maintaining those relationships is a big thing. I'm working on that.
Yeah, I definitely. It called me out on Sunday and it called me out tonight, just to know that I need those Paul relationships in my life. I need those people that can tell me no, and me be like, yes sir, because I didn't have that growing up, and I think that's why I never felt like I needed it, because I didn't ever have it. So, and then I need to go deeper in those relationships with those Barnabases. Barnaby. And I need to pick up those Timothys, because have you ever heard the saying, you learn better by teaching?
Yeah. That's how I learned.
Yeah. So
literally, that's how I learned.
It's just, that'd be revolutionary to be like, this and this, and it just clicks in your head in a whole different way. So, but yeah.
What I took from it was from the scripture. The scripture said, when you come to Christ, you're born again, you're a new creature. So in my case, I got to unlearn a lot of stuff to learn a lot of stuff, because like we were saying, them partners we can call up and we'll ride and do all that with, that's on the evil side. I ain't living that life no more. I'm not conformed to the world no more. So I got to get men in my life that's on that path.
Yeah.
Because bad company correct good character. So
that's what the words say.
So I don't want to, know what I'm saying? So I don't want to keep taking my partner through that if I probably live my life and lead them to Christ.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because when that time when they call me, they'll know, oh, if I call bro, he gonna be talking about God and he gonna be all on that. And do I really want to call him? I made them think like that. You know what I'm saying? But in order for them to think like that, they got to see you living that life. So right now, I'm preparing myself to be that person.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying, like, I'm learning a lot of stuff to learn a lot of stuff, because and I'm embracing the small groups. I'm embracing y'all, and that's why I reach out to y'all and talk to y'all about stuff, because I can't talk to them about that. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna be like, bro, you tripping, bro, just do it right here, bro. I already know how we get down. You know what I'm saying? And I can't be like, well, y'all, bro, that's true, but You know what I'm saying? Like it's true, bro. But still, bro,
But
this
Jesus said,
this life I'm living, bro. You know what I'm saying? So they won't. I'm renewing myself in Christ, and I'm reestablishing myself.
Amen.
Yeah, I like what you said right there about like, I can't call him because he's gonna be like this on the Jesus stuff and everything like that. But on the other hand, when they in that moment and they know that about you, they can be like, I can call E because he on that Jesus stuff.
Facts.
So they know who to call.
Shout out to the Jesus stuff.
Facts.
And I'm gonna make it quick.
Nah, take on that. Go ahead.
We've been long enough.
You off tomorrow?
That's a fact.
No, I ain't on tomorrow.
I'm
You don't
not,
get Juneteenth?
actually.
Juneteenth, baby.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna come out later, but
We're
It-
petitioning.
Gonna come out much later. I go ahead and tell you that.
We'll,
This be about a Christmas
We'll talk
episode,
about
right?
that off air. But anyway, what stood out for me is Bam. He said it down to the teeth. So it's Matthew 7. I wear it on my wrist every day. So ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will be open to you. So that's what I got out of it. So I'm gonna strength on that verse. Becoming my favorite scripture now. Matthew is one of my favorite books, so I get a lot of good scriptures out of that book.
It's a lot in there.
So Matthew 7. So I'm gonna stick with that 7:7.
That's affirmation too, man, because he said that to you. Of all you got to do is ask. Habakkuk, is it Habakkuk? Habakkuk 2:2. You have not because you ask not.
If it's wrong, I'll put the right one up there. So you good.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think that's two. Yeah.
It
I think it's
sounds
2 and
that
2.
sounds right. Yeah.
I think it's Habakkuk 2:2. I'll look real quick.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I want to say something. So, actually, kind of, adding on to what Jesse said, right? In terms of like asking, you shall, should be given to you.
That's right down the vision.
And so I think one thing that I got from this, especially as I look at at my my life as well, as I mentioned, I've been God has blessed me with brothers and many uncles and stuff like that. But of course, on top of that, I was always seeking a small group because the churches I used to go to never had any small groups. They were tiny stuff, right? So I remember one day just praying, going on the saying same topics, just God, I want to be in a small group to to learn from other men. And on top of that, a lot of the churches I went to were very estrogen filled, right? Because our mom was usually the one who chooses the churches, so naturally you can see where she goes there. But I remember one day, and then just out of nowhere, God told me to go to Victory, and then literally that I think I said this story before, but then I went to Victory the same day. They promoted small groups, and then literally I filled my name out, and then Brother Ray, you guys probably met Ray, sent an email,
Shout
right?
out to Ray.
And I think it's just also adding on to what we kind of said here is that especially I think this is definitely a benefit that we have, being in the Word and trusting God, is that He will put the opportunities there, but at the end of the day, you still have to take that step, right? Because I know if the opportunity for a small group like this came to me, like maybe say when I was in high school, right? I probably would just said, nah, put Ray's email on ignore or something,
Right.
and then just went about my day, right? But I decided to take that step because I didn't know, because I literally just joined Victory when that happened, so I didn't know anybody else. So going to, and of course back then I don't think the Tuesday group was there yet, so it was the Wednesday, and it was Wednesday, and it was a bunch of people there. So being that new face, I didn't even actually funny stories. Ray only sent me emails. I never even knew how he looked like.
Yeah.
So I just walked in the room. It was like one of y'all is Ray. So
Who's Ray? Who Ray?
You'll find out quick who.
Yeah.
So just again, being a benefit of following God, He'll put the opportunities there for you to meet your brotherhood and meet your Barnabases and Paul and so forth like that. But of course, we got to take that step as well. I'm thankful that I took that step.
Yeah.
Glad you're here too, bro.
Yeah, JJ.
I read on my way here, Pastor Johnson had posted on social media. There's 664 men across all 4 campuses took that step to say, "Hey, I want to be
That's good.
a part of brotherhood."
Shout out to them.
So-
man.
That's good. That's awesome.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Shout out to them.
All right, guys. So this is a rather long one, and I'm probably gonna split it up in
That's what I
two.
was about to say. Like,
Probably
break
gonna-
up.
so this is probably part 2 if you're listening to this. But we just want to ask you that question: do you have those 3 people in your lives?
3 people.
Male or female, if you are male or female, do you have those 3 people in your life that can correct you, that
Put
can
it in the
encourage you,
comments.
and that you can teach?
Mhm.
So, if you like this content, make sure to like it, subscribe,
subscribe,
comment down
leave a
below to
comment.
the answer.
Ring the bell.
Do you have those people? And
Yeah, what that looks like in your life.
that's good. Yeah.
Man.
And with that, we'll see you next time.
We out there.
Peace.
Thanks.
Thank you for listening to Multiply Men. We hope today's episode inspired you in your walk with God. Please check out our other episodes and stay tuned for our next conversation. We want to say thank you for all the participants today and all of our sponsors. If you would like to be a part of the Multiply Men podcast, would like to sponsor us, or just have a topic that you would like us to discuss, please reach out to us on our social medias. Our handle on all social media accounts is Multiply Men. That's Multiply Men. Thank you again for listening and have a blessed day.